Okay, so if you see my post, then you know that there's a couple of ingredients that you want to make sure that you have. So don't mind me if you see me with a spoon or whatever, because I'm like multitasking. Don't think that you need a spoon for turnip fries. That is not one of the tools that you need. So just bear with me as I do this. Anyways, okay, so first off, what you want to do is, Stacey and I were kind of talking about this earlier. I actually like going to my farmer's market because I can get larger size turnips. So I know the couple of times that I've been at Walmart when you buy them, they're in like a bag and they tend to be a little bit smaller. It's totally up to you. You can, make these and farm them however way you want to do them. But I like them large like this because I can just chop them up and make them like fries, okay? So I'm going to switch a couple of things around here. So you want to make sure you clean it too. So what I typically do with my turnips and pretty much all of my vegetables is I like to soak them. So I put them in like hot water and like white vinegar. So that's how I like to soak them. And then I'm crazy, but I also have like a veggie brush. So, say it again. Oh, okay. So you definitely want to make sure that you clean your veggies. If you're going to have background conversations, just make sure that you mute yourselves, please.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just going crazy thinking, I'm like, somebody asking a question? Because definitely, if you have any questions as we go through this process, make sure that you jump in. This is kind of like a free forum, so don't feel like you can't interrupt me if you have a question, okay? So again, you want to make sure that you clean your veggies. Obviously, you want to have a nice, sturdy knife, right? And you want to go ahead at this point and set your oven to 360. So I've got some baking going on in here, so my oven is already on. So that while you're chopping up your veggies, your oven can be ready. Another thing that I like to go ahead and do is get my pan ready. So I'm gonna grab my pan, and I am aluminum foil queen. Like if I can minimize as much cleaning and scraping as possible, I'm gonna do it. So just make sure that you get your sheet ready. Now, I will say that this is one of those veggies or one of those meals that I wouldn't cook too much ahead of time. So, like, they don't take long to cook. So if you want to eat them tonight, then go ahead and cook them tonight. But if they're not something that you're going to want until, like, 2 days from now or whatever, I will hold off on cooking them. That's one thing that I like about this new meal plan is because of the food groups that you're focusing on, a lot of these veggies can be cooked like the same day. I'm recording already, Stacey. So, all right. Now what you're gonna do is take your veggie and let me correct this in a different way because I'm going to put my sweet potato bites in there as well. But let's do this. I'm on my computer so I can make sure that you guys can get everything. So let me lower my computer. All right, so I'm gonna take that down just a little bit so you can actually see like my cutting board and all that good stuff. You don't need to see me right now. So I'm gonna obviously cut off the top and the bottom. Okay, so again, kind of looks like this, right? And then again, you just start chopping. So however way you want to do it, I like to chop mine into larger pieces. And then go back through them and make them wedges or something close to it. All right. So you can make them as thick or as thin as you want. So you guys see how I'm chopping them up today. I've done them smaller. You know, it's all according to what you want to do. Okay. All right. So now I'm grabbing my pan. Is everybody good so far? Do y'all have any questions? Everybody good? All right. So I'm going to take my pan and just spread them out on the pan. Now, believe you me, when you make these, like if you're trying to make them for like your family or for more than one person, you're going to want to cut up more than one turnip. Because when your family gets a glimpse of this, I'm going to cut this a little thinner. When they start tasting this, I'm telling you, they're going to want more. Alana has even said that herself, the creator of our new program, okay? So I'm going to kind of spread it on the pan. All right, and then I'm going to get my virgin oil. You don't need much. You good, Dee?
Yeah, mine are cut and oiled and seasoned.
Okay. So I'm gonna spread them on the pan.
Can I put them in the air fryer, you think?
There you go with that air fryer.
I'm just saying they'd be crispy.
You can.
It's hot today. I don't want to put on the oven because it's hot.
Uh-huh. I understand. What did you season yours with?
Mrs. Dash garlic and herb, Mrs. Dash table, smoked paprika, garlic powder, and onion powder, black pepper.
Okay, that's all?
That's all.
I'm not even mad at you. I got some Himalayan salt. Sometimes I'll throw that on there, but not too much. Because again, I like to use my Mrs. Dash seasonings and all that kind of stuff, and it really has enough flavor for me. I'll say that much.
They are. You gotta wait till she comes back.
All right. So, oven is prepped. It's ready to go. Oh, let me grab my other. Okay, so I'm going to do my garlic powder. I'm going to do my onion and herb. Okay. So, I'm spreading these around a little bit so that I can make sure they all get soaked in the virgin oil. All right. This your first time tasting these, Dee?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Only because you made me buy them when we were at the farmer's market.
Yay!
Mom.
She loves her coach.
Potatoes. What potatoes? What's that? Potatoes.
Okay, so now I'm going to take my Mrs. Dash, and again,
we don't eat proteins.
There's a ton of different seasonings that you can use, but I'm spreading on my Mrs. Dash. I'm going to throw on my garlic powder. And I used to use garlic salt, y'all, but again, you have to remember that garlic salt is also salt. So garlic powder is better. Hey!
Make sure the air, if that's air and not heat. Come on.
All right. So.
Yes, sir.
Put my garlic powder on, and then lastly, I'm going to use my onion and herb, Mrs. Dash.
Yeah! You almost love Mrs. Dash. Mrs. Dash is the B-O-M-B, baby.
Yes. All right. So, oven is ready. My turnip fries are ready. Everything look good, y'all? Mm-hmm. They're like, I don't know about this. All right, so now I'm going to go stick my turnip fries in the oven. And I'm gonna set the stove, I'm gonna set the oven for 30 minutes. Now again, I like mine to be a little crispy. So I'm going to, after the 30 minutes, and we will probably still be on Zoom, but after the 30 minutes, I'm going to kind of stir them up, kind of flip them over, maybe put a little bit more seasoning on them, and then put them back in the oven for like another 20 minutes, tops. That's the total of what it is. That's it, you guys. So you see, this is something that you can easily add to your meals. It's a veggie. You can disguise it for your children, you know, that may not really care for veggies too much. So that's pretty much it. Again, like I said, we'll still probably be on. So we'll see what they look like in about 30 minutes. And Dee's cooking hers in her air fryer. So we'll see those too.
I went ahead and put them in the oven. I'm going to be compliant. But next time, they're going in the air fryer next time. I'm just saying.
I just put a little bit of ham, and I've got some coconut oil. This is my jam. Hey, Bernard.
Uh-oh.
She's going to,
she has the
the first person's on already, and we're making turnip fries.
Oh, bam. Stacy's going to take it away.
Okay, I'm not quite there yet. Listen, can I be real with you? I need to be real.
What are you doing?
I'm way behind you. I barely just got the turnips on the tray.
Oh my goodness.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, I think you have to promote me to presenter. Do you know how to do that?
We can hear you.
I know, but how are they going to see me make the popsicles?
We can see you right now.
You can see me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, shit. Okay, well, hold on. Okay, I'm way behind y'all. I'm not going to even lie. I got my Facebook Live over here. I got my garlic powder here. Listen, okay, so let me frame this. So I am the quintessential example of a career woman who really just does not. I know how to cook. Don't get me wrong. If I have to get down, I can get down. I can. But on a regular, I don't cook. I only cook like 1 or 2 days a week. So I typically use salt, and I always put in a plug for my boy. I typically use Soul Fit seasonings. Soul Fit seasonings for low sodium seasonings. Soul Fit seasonings. I ran out and I got to get with him so he could send me some more and send me my sponsorship t-shirt because I'm always promoting his items. Today I ran out, so I'm really sorry. I had to use Mrs. Dash. And my sister this morning told me to try the Southwest Chipotle Mrs. Dash. I don't know.
I'm mad that you said I'm sorry because
all I got is Mrs. Dash. Southwest Chipotle Dash.
That's all we use is Mrs. Dash. What do you mean?
I support my brother in business. He's a business owner, and he has his own seasons. They're called Soul Fit seasonings. And tonight I'm going to be using a little bit of island heat on my turnip fries here, you guys. So I think I caught on to what Kanisha said. I put my oven on at 425. That was the first thing I did. I had it. And if I did this wrong, y'all correct me. And then I have this pan. I sprayed it with olive oil, Pam. And then I used some coconut oil. I forgot to toss them. I think she said toss them in coconut oil. I'm the kind of person that probably, if I skip this step, I'll just pour it on top and hope it's the same thing. It's all good. It's all good. It's okay. And then I got my seasoning, so now I'm just going to put it in the oven, right, Kanisha?
Right.
Okay, that's where we are. Okay, so I'm putting it in the oven. I'm putting it in the oven. All right, cool.
Y'all see what I got to deal with.
So, turnip fries are in the oven. And like I said, because I'm also sharing this on my Facebook Live, you could easily do that with a salmon burger, a turkey burger, a beef burger, any kind of burger. I saw that Miss Kenesha did it with stuffed mushrooms, right, Kenesha?
Uh-huh.
She did it with stuffed mushrooms. So now we're going to switch gears, and I'm going to turn off my Facebook Live, and I'm just going to focus on my customers because we're going to talk about the one thing, the one product that I have been using for 7 years that has banged out my health and taken me from being 40 pounds overweight and unhealthy to like the best health I've ever been in. I have the highest PR numbers I've ever had on my runs. I have more lean muscle mass than I've ever had, and I'm not sick anymore. I'm going to tell you about how sick I used to be. Let me grab let me grab a cup towel, and we're going to tip out of here. Okay, so I'm going to turn my computer around so that you all are our clients and our coaches, and you deserve our one-on-one attention. And that is what we're going to give you because you pay for it and you deserve it. So I got my little seasons and stuff off to the side. So I would say I became introduced to Shakeology about 6 or 7 years ago. It's hard for me to figure out where to look. About 6 or 7 years ago, I am what you call a 365er. So if you don't know me, I'm Stacey McCoy. I'm actually Dr. Stacey McCoy. I am a native of Houston, Texas. I don't know if there's any other Texans on the line, but I'm a native of Houston, Texas. I currently live in Jacksonville, Florida. I've been with Beachbody for 6 or 7 years. I started out with like Turbo Jam. That was the first like DVD I ever bought, and then I bought Insanity. Insanity was my first full program. I did all 60 days of Insanity. If anybody has ever done Insanity from day 1 to day 60, you ain't going nowhere. You stand with Beachbody, you Beachbody for life. You're never going anywhere. If you finish Insanity, if you make it through the warm-up, and you convince yourself every day to do the warm-up, you're not going anywhere. You're staying. You're with Beachbody for life. So I'm what you call a lifer. So I started using Shakeology. My health conditions were as follows. Yes, I'm a pharmacist. I'm not just a pharmacist. I'm a clinical pharmacist, and I practice critical care. So I only do critical situations. Like I work in an emergency room, and I only take care of people on the brink of death. That's the only thing I like to do. I don't like doing anything else. Anything else is just boring to me. So I spent all this time in college, 10, 11 years, bachelor's, master's, doctorate, postdoc. When I got out, I was a hot mess because I never took care of myself. I always put myself on the back burner. I started working out with Insanity. My coach asked me to try Shakeology. I told her no, like 2 or 3 times. And then finally I caved in because my cravings were just so out of control. Like they were so unmanageable. I needed help with meals, and I needed help with my cravings, and I needed to fix my high blood pressure. At that point, I was 40-something pounds overweight. I was on 4 blood pressure medications. I'm a pharmacist who was on 4 blood pressure medications maxed out. That means you are on the maximum doses. You this close away to a stroke. I had that. I had 9 uterine fibroids. I had asthma. I was constantly getting sick in the beginning, irritable bowel, constipation. I had like a number of health concerns. I never spent any time working on myself. So there I was, just a hot mess. I had all these degrees and I looked great on paper and I had my little white jacket, but what is that without your health? So once I truly committed to Beachbody, like I never went anywhere else. I've never been anywhere else. I'm not going anywhere else, and it changed my life. So now let me see. It started small, just me being a part of the community. I started with 5Ks. I started trying to run a little bit. So I did 5Ks. Then I graduated to like 15Ks. Just me. Once you stay in that community, once you're in a community of people who work out and who love on each other and support each other, you're not going anywhere, and they're not going to let you go nowhere. So I started there, 5Ks, 15Ks. Graduated up to half marathons, full marathons. So I've done full marathons, triathlons, bodybuilding competitions. Like I just made this a part of my life. I began to incorporate the meals and incorporate Shakeology every single day because I don't know if there's any other people here who have asthma, but if you're an asthmatic, and I have a couple other things too. If you're an asthmatic and you get sick, if I get sick, like a cold can shut me down for 6 to 8 weeks. One year I was doing marathon training. We were up to, and the way you train for a marathon is over a course of like 6 months, right? So we had gotten up to Saturdays running 15, 16, 17 miles. And I got sick. And let's say I was down for like 6 weeks. So that's like the longest time I've ever been sick. But from that time on, I've been just faithful with my meals. And sometimes I cheat, you know, I want to eat out too, or I want to do my thing just like everybody else. But I truly, truly, truly believe the reason that I have been able to recover so quickly and work around so many sick people and not be sick is because of Shakeology. And that's why I won't go anywhere else and I'm not trying anything else. I don't need to because I know my life has been changed. So tonight I am going to make vanilla PB&B Shakeology popsicles. So I don't know how many people have kids, but I'm going to read to you the ingredients if Kenesha did not post them. Again, I'm the kind of girl who may not necessarily, now this is weird because I'm a pharmacist, but I'm not a chef. So I may or may not get all the ingredients perfect, but you get the gist of it. And anyway, we're going to freeze it, so it'll be about right. So it'll freeze up. Whatever we do, it'll freeze up and we'll like it. So here's what you need. Hold on, let me get on my computer. All right, here's what you need. You need 2, where are we? Hey, this isn't right. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so you need 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk. I actually wasn't introduced to almond milk until I got introduced to Beachbody. I was always just drinking cow's milk. I never even heard of almond milk. I use unsweetened, original, Blue Diamond, 30 calories, very simple. It's just regular unsweetened almond milk. So you need a cup of that. 2 scoops of vanilla Shakeology. I keep all of my Shakeology in the Shakeology canisters. These are available in the store. If you don't have them, you should get one. If you stay with us, you'll be gifted with at least one. I've got like 2 or 3 of these. So I need 2 packets of Shakeology. Let me go ahead and grab that. The next thing it says I need is 2 medium frozen bananas cut into chunks before freezing. I cut these into chunks earlier, so I just took 2 bananas, I cut them into chunks. Wait a minute, that's 3 packets. Nuh-uh, we're not even gonna use just 2 like it says. And then 2 tablespoons of all natural smooth peanut butter. If you're allergic to peanut butter, you don't have to put it in, but remember it's PB&B, so it's peanut butter and banana. So I actually use, and I talk about this product a lot, it's a Peter Pan Simply Ground. And if you read on the back, and you'll learn this when you get into 2B mindset, I like to look for things like what's the first ingredient, and of course, how many ingredients are there overall. In fact, let me do a little teaching. Hold on. Okay. All right, I'm gonna do some teaching. I'm not the only person that lives here, so we end up buying a lot of different things. So my husband likes Jif, and I don't even know if this is the normal Jif that he likes, but it says it's low sodium natural Jif, and it's honey and it's creamy. So I like to look for like what's in it. So I look for, it says it's peanut butter spread, but that it's got peanuts, sugar, palm oil, salt, molasses, and honey. So you're looking for something that's just got a very few ingredients. In this one, the one that I really like, it just has roasted peanuts and sugar. It's got 2 of them, 2% or less of hydrogenated vegetable oils, cottonseed and rapeseed salt. So the total carbs for each serving size is 2 tablespoons. I'm only going to use 1. I look for how many carbs are in each one. It's 6. How much fiber is 2? How much sugar is 3? 3 is really, really low. And for those of you that are in 2B, you know that we need to start looking for fiber and sugar on all of our items. So if something's got 3 grams of sugar, that's a winner for me. And then the protein is 8. None of us are really protein deficient, but we need to be looking at how much sugar is in our items. So in this one with the honey, the sugar was 5, the fiber was 2, the carbs were 10, the protein was 7. One of the things that she talks to us a lot about in 2B is being mindful of things like peanut butter. in terms of, like, I'm the kind of person that if I'm working, I can easily spoon out several of these because I really like eating peanut butter. So you want to be very mindful if you have things like nut butters around to make sure you're not overeating them. Because I really like peanut butter. Same thing with nuts. Sometimes I'm not losing weight. You can, any of us, this can happen to anybody. You won't lose weight if you're eating too many nuts. So we've learned growing up that nuts are healthy, and they are healthy, but they are packed with fat, and they're what we call calorically dense. So it doesn't take a lot of nuts or peanuts in order for your calories to add up fast. So if you're the kind of person where you're like, you keep one of these, hold on. I actually had to hide it because I kept eating out of it. If you keep one of these at your house and while you're watching TV, you pour out like a couple handfuls and you're not losing weight, it's because these are calorically dense. So you don't really need a lot of them before they start to add up. This can stop you from losing weight. This can stop the scale from moving. And that's happened to me before. So just a little tip. All right, so I am going to, I actually use I don't know what you call this. It's a Ninja, that's what it is. This was a gift. So I use a Ninja, that's my blender of choice. And what I'm gonna do is grab my blender. It didn't say use ice, it didn't say that, or water. It just says place the milk, the Shakeology, the bananas, and the peanut butter in the blender. So we're gonna do the milk first. Oh look, it worked out. So while I'm doing this, I wanted to talk to you because everybody on this call, you guys are invested in your health and you really care about changing your life. And it's not always easy. Like I said, I've been at this for 7 years. Every day is a new day. I'm gonna try to bring my camera down a little bit. Every day is a new day. And sometimes we fall down, but we just have to get right back up. So I'm gonna take blender, almond milk, cup of almond milk in. That's in. Sometimes when things get tough, I'm opening up my first packet of Shakeology. When things get tough, or when you feel like money gets tight, you want to like just go through a drive-through, or time gets tight. You just want to go through a drive-through because it seems like it's faster. You can eat off the dollar menu at Wendy's, or you can eat off the dollar menu at McDonald's, right? Like it's cheaper, it's faster. But cheap and fast is not always going to get you where you want to be. Kind of like a cheap and fast date. Like that's not always going to get you where you want to be. Right? So you know that you are of value and you need to value the things that you're putting in your body. And that's why we're all here, you know, learning and really trying hard to be different. So I've done 1 milk and 2 Shakeologies. Now I'm going to open up these bananas that I sliced up earlier. So there are some things that make Shakeology different from a protein shake, because really it's not that we need a protein shake, because we don't. None of us are protein deficient. You can get protein from any number of sources, right? Fish, tofu, beans, edamame, milk even. We get protein all day long. We're not protein deficient. We are nutrient deficient. So you want to be thinking at all times, I hope this works. I think I should have used the other blender. Okay, I'm going to switch blenders. This clearly is not the right size blender. I'm going to use the other blender. Listen, y'all, I told you that when I first started. I'm going to keep it real. What am I going to do now? Oh, crap. I'm just going to do my best. That's what I told Kanisha. This is bad. This is really bad. All right. I had to switch blenders. Praise the Lord. I hope this works. Don't do what I'm doing. Okay, so I switched blenders. It is a hot mess. This is not how you make popsicles when you're a professional. All right, so I'm now at 1 cup of almond milk, 2 Shakeologies, and my bananas, and then it's just a tablespoonful of peanut butter. I'm probably gonna add a little bit more almond milk, even though it didn't tell me to, just because I feel like it. Because this looks like it's probably not gonna blend up the way I want it to. It's just the way I feel about it. So there's a few things in Shakeology that make it different from a regular protein shake, and I think sometimes we forget about that. So can somebody, anybody, want to unmute themselves and tell me what the super fruits, are there any super fruits or superfoods, and like what makes it special? What do they do? I hope this is right. Anybody? You don't have to be perfect. I hope this is right, y'all. This is my husband's. I use mine. Just trying. I'll put this on top. Okay, now working. Not what I was expecting. Does anybody else have a Ninja? Why isn't this working? Oh, you know what? If it's not working, it means your top is not in the right place. I did learn that about this Ninja thing. Does anybody else have a Ninja? Damn it. I think that's what happens. Like, there it goes. Yay! It looks a little thick. Looks a little thick, which is what I was thinking. It is. I'm gonna add some more almond milk because I feel like it. So anyway, like I was saying, it's got camu, green tea, and pomegranate. I know so many people, like I drink green tea like 3 times a day, and those super fruits really help you to have that energy. So many people complain about not having energy. You need that. Phytonutrients are what you get from plants, like kale, matcha. I see a lot of people going out and buying matcha in like capsule form. You don't have to do that. It's already in there. It's amazing. And then the adaptogens like ashwagandha. A lot of people buy ashwagandha right now, but you don't have to do that because it's already in your Shakeology. Okay, this looks good. Let me just grab a knife. So I bought these popsicle molds off of Amazon. This kind of looks like almost like batter for a, what do you call that? Banana pudding. It just kind of reminded me of banana pudding. It looks really good. If you weren't staring right now, I would just lick this out of the container. I think that's highly inappropriate. Okay. The Texan in me, it just wants to add a little bit more almond milk. I know this is not what it's
You want to see what it looks like, Stacy?
Hold on. I just want to add a little more. I just feel like it should be a little, I think it's too thick. And then I'm going to show you. Okay, yeah, this is much better. I'll be cleaning this blender all night. All right, I'm going to move my ingredients back here. I never told you I was Martha Stewart. So I got my, what do you call it, stuff in here. And I'm going to pour it in these popsicle molds. So I don't even think I need that. I bought these popsicle molds off of Amazon. They were like $10. And the directions say you're supposed to pour. So it looks like this. So you have the little holder at the bottom, and then you got this plastic thing, and then you pour this in like that. So I don't know if you can see it, but I'm supposed to pour in like this. Whoa, wait, whoa. Oh, it's working. It's definitely working. So it's filling up the popsicle molds. Oh my God, this is gonna be so tasty. And then I'm gonna go to the next one. Just filling up the popsicle molds, that's all I'm doing. These are gonna be like really thick and creamy, and I used bananas. I didn't use any artificial flavors or colors. And I think that's what I like most about it. I'm gonna try to speed up because I know y'all got stuff to do tonight. And then I'm gonna have to wipe the sides of these down because I didn't plan for these to kind of drip a little bit in between. Or whatever, it'll just freeze up on the side and we'll just flick it off. Does anybody have any questions about, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I know I have a really bad sweet tooth. I know that Sandra does too. So this is a really great way that you can use something you already have at home. Bananas are like $1 for 4, I guess. I don't know. I just grabbed some. And then the almond milk, or if you want to use soy milk or whatever kind of milk you use, you can get a gallon of that for about $2.50. And you already had the Shakeology, so now you're just using it. So here's where we are right now. Oops, it's not perfect. Here's where we are right now. I've done 4 so far, and I have more to go, but we're coming up on 740. So they're in, and they're pretty much most of the way done, right? So then you just take these little tops, and I left a little room so that when I put the top on it, it can expand since it's got to go in the freezer and it needs to expand. But it's gonna be so good, y'all. I love a popsicle. I like everything. Just keep it real. I just like to eat. Oops. Okay. So I probably have enough for like 2 or 3 more, but you get the point. And then I'm just gonna take this and put it in the freezer for 4 hours. So this is an example of how you paid $8 for those packets, and it could potentially generate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 popsicles that are nutrient filled. So this could be like a baby snack or like a baby meal, you know, like something small in between, you know, while you're studying or while you're folding the clothes, or it's much healthier than if you went and got something that was loaded with chocolate or loaded with caramel or loaded with God only knows what. So you can do this with vanilla. You can do it with greenberry. You can do it with chocolate. So I could have taken chocolate instead of vanilla, like if you have the chocolate at home, and you could have done that. So is this helpful? I know I'm not perfect and stuff's like dripping everywhere. And I switched blenders in between. Was this helpful for you?
Yes.
Yay. Okay. Yeah. Because it's not just about making shakes. Dang. We could do something else. I mean, you know, like you paid for it. Use it. Summertime is coming. You know, let's make the good use of this. I'm excited. Kanisha, you are up, girl. I'm going to finish filling this up too. I can't wait to eat these tonight.
All right, well, we have 2 more minutes before my oven will be going off, and that will be our 30-minute time frame to check on the turnip fries and kind of turn them over a little bit, put a little bit more seasoning on them.
Kanisha, I was going to do a screen share, but I don't know if I can screen share because you're the one that's logged in. Can I screen share, or are you the only person that can screen share?
What are you trying to screen share? I think anybody can.
Girl, did you notice? I don't know if you saw this, but I just saw this an hour ago when I was with my team. Have you seen the recipe? Oh, you already have yours. Have you seen the digital recipe booklet for To Be Mindset?
I actually got my package in the mail today.
Oh my God. But have you seen the digital one, how like the recipes literally like pop off the page? It's beautiful. The recipes are so beautiful. I could not believe it. It caught me by surprise because usually, I don't know if anybody's been around for a bit, but when we used to have old recipe books like with Insanity or P90X, the recipes really just didn't look that tasty. You know, like it looked like you could do it. But these recipes that she has in To Be Mindset, I mean, it literally is like popping off the page. It's beautiful.
Well, let me tell you, you know, I was in the test group, so I got a lot of those recipes, or a lot of recipes, I should say, being a part of the test group. And again, I have a whole newfound love for cabbage because of the recipes that we get with it.
I saw all those cabbage recipes. I was really shocked.
Yeah, girl, I got Brussels sprouts in here.
Oh, I saw the Brussels sprout one.
Brussels sprouts with bacon. Delish.
And the thing is, I don't know about everybody else, but we didn't really eat a lot of vegetables in all these different ways that she's teaching us. I mean, my mom pretty much just put the cabbage was gonna have some bacon, some drippings, and and that was pretty much it. We just didn't have a lot of healthy eating in my house growing up. We didn't. Nothing against my mom, like she did the best she could, but in terms of like eating all these vegetables and finding new ways to cook vegetables, even an egg, like I don't know how to poach an egg, I didn't grow up like that. So I find that it's really helpful, and it's just a big deal to me to have someone teaching me new ways to do things.
Yeah, it's definitely about expanding beyond what you're used to. They look good, Stacey.
I'm gonna put it in the freezer. Thank you, Amazon.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna buy some of those because that would be delicious. All right, so my timer just went off. So I'm gonna take these out of the oven. And I'll show them to you in just a quick second. Like I said, I'm in here multitasking, so I got some other stuff like my sweet potatoes chopped up, put my chicken in the oven, I got bacon going on in there. I should have cut the zucchini, but so I am going to, let me see if I can show you guys what they look like. Obviously, I just got them out of the oven. So here's what they look like. See? So again, I'm gonna kind of get my spatula. That would be smart. And just kind of stir them around, because again, they're still sitting in like the virgin oil and everything. So.
Hey, look, mine are too white. Look. Can you see that?
Yeah, just, what do you have your oven on? 360?
Yeah.
Okay, so just put them back in the oven. I'm going to put these back in the oven.
Okay.
Even though these have a little bit of brown on them, again, I still like for them to be a little darker, a little crunchy. But they look pretty, they look actually pretty good. And I do my cabbage the same way. So again, I'm going to put just a little bit more seasoning on them. They actually really don't need any seasoning. And then I'm going to stick them back in the oven for probably about 15 minutes, maybe a bit longer. And then they're done. Gonna put just a little squirt of virgin oil. And maybe a little bit more garlic powder, because I really like garlic. So a little bit more garlic powder. And of course, a little bit more Mrs. Dash, my garlic and herb. And they're going back in the oven, like I said, for about 15 minutes. And they don't need much longer. And these are a good accessory when you're eating foods. Like if you have our new program, there's other recipes like an open face burger with avocado on top. These are a good accessory for that type of burger. Delicious. Again, if you want to just eat them as a side item, you can. The great part about it is it's a veggie. So you're treating yourself to something that's delicious, or your family, but it's also classified as a veggie. It doesn't get any better than that. So we are opening the floor for questions, comments, anything that you have right now, because again, in another 15 minutes, I'm going to take those out. They'll pretty much be done. So what do you guys have? Any comments? What did you guys think? This is our first time actually doing one of these kind of cooking shows, but we plan on doing more. So any of, Stacey's clients or coaches that are on here that aren't familiar with me, you'll get to know me better. And likewise, Stacey and I work hand in hand. We work a lot together. And we just kind of fill in the gaps for each other. But you guys know meal planning is a big thing for me. I'm really, really excited.
Yeah.
Again, this new meal plan, now you don't have to stand in the kitchen and cook for hours. Like you guys know, I used to be in here half the day on Sundays. Well, now with these new meals, so if you're not in the program, you absolutely need to be there. But now with the new meals, like I said, for me, I like cooking my veggies. I like my veggies to be nice and fresh. I don't like soggy veggies.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to be anything for me to go in here when I come home from work, stick them in the oven. It's not going to take me long to cook them. Stick them in the oven, go do a workout, or, you know, go respond to messages or whatever else I have to do while these veggies and these foods are cooking. And then again, the rest of it doesn't take any time. A few things that I want to point out is don't feel like you have to cook everything live. Like, don't feel like you have to cook everything from scratch is what I mean. Okay, let me show you. I've got riced cauliflower in my freezer. So all I have to do is put it in the microwave, wham bam. What else do I have? I keep brown rice. But as you will learn through the new program, this isn't really something that you want to add to dinner because it's carbs. Carbs give you energy. You don't need all that energy when you get ready to go to bed. I want to show you guys. Other things like, you know, being so creative. I have rice veggies, but it's broccoli. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. Have you seen this before, Dee?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No.
I've never seen those.
Hey, I like it.
Yeah. So, and lastly, you know, I'll tell you I got a freezer full of it. Veggie tots.
Nah, homie.
I've seen
Have you
that.
tried them?
Yes.
You don't like them?
They taste like cardboard.
What'd you season them with?
The normal.
Mm.
Garlic, Mrs. Dad, you know, my normal.
I'll let y'all know when I get to these. But, you know, again, now there's so many varieties that are in the freezer. You don't have to cook all of this from scratch. So your meals don't have to take you hours to actually make. Right? But again, you do want to make sure you're paying attention to the labels. And if you have the new program, that is something that Alana talks a lot about. So you'll start looking at your snack bars and all of that kind of stuff differently. Why, speaking of snack bars, you should have an ongoing order for those because I have to stop myself from eating 2 or 3 at a time. Just saying. Small little disclaimer. So, again, we're opening the floor for questions, comments, anything that you guys have. Now is your time. What y'all got? So y'all are all ready to go. Y'all are ready to make turnip fries. Who's going to try turnip fries this week?
Me,
Me.
definitely.
What did you like most about it?
Eating veggies.
I think, just trying something new that's healthy and alternative to potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
So are you looking forward to your new recipes and your new meals and all of this kind of stuff that you're getting with your new program?
Yep.
I am. Definitely.
Cool. All right, y'all. Well, Stacey, you got anything else you want to add? I'm going to snap y'all real quick while we're doing this.
Mine are out, and they're actually really good. They still kind of have that bitterness that They had that bitterness that a turnip would normally have, but it's tasty. I mean, I never would have thought of using a turnip. And then I was just reading, you know, I have to read. I got to get this back. I got to get my facts straight. It
What do you
just
mean?
said that turnips are a non-starchy vegetable. They have trace amounts of starch and a good option for people who are trying to lose weight. The next question was turnip versus a potato. There are fewer calories per serving than potato, 18 calories per cup, compared with 59 for russet potatoes. And each cup of turnip has 4 grams of carbs, while an equivalent serving of potatoes contains 13.5. So
Wow.
yeah, turnips and I guess we could have also have used the rutabaga, because I actually almost bought a rutabaga looking for turnips today.
Yeah, in our test group, there were some people that actually did try a rutabaga.
Yeah, I think we could have used a rutabaga. So I guess this is something good for us to know. It's a root vegetable, less than a quarter of the carbohydrate of potatoes. And I feel like it actually says they're a member of the same plant family as cabbage, kale, broccoli, and cauliflower. They're what you might consider a cruciferous vegetable. I mean, honestly, I feel like I'm not missing out on anything. They're still crispy, crunchy. I like it. It's still that bitterness. I mean, it doesn't taste like a potato, but it feels like, in my head, it feels like a potato. And I might, you might put a little ketchup on the side. I think you can go there. You could, like, if it was critical, it was a critical moment, you could put ketchup on the side and really convince yourself. You could. So I think this was fun.
All right. Very quick.
With Stacey and her critical moments.
Yes, believe me, there have been many.
Chicken strip.
All right. Well, anybody else have anything else? Debbie, you got anything you want to add?
No, I'm good.
You good? Nancy, what about you? I know we couldn't hear you earlier.
You want a motion?
You hear me now?
Yes.
There you go. Yeah, I'm wanting to try it because I love potatoes, and turnips are a different choice.
Cool.
Yes, I'm wanting to try those.
Good. Well, make sure, if you guys try them, that you come back and let us know what you think. I'm not really a potato person myself, so I can do without, I don't really eat French fries anyway. But I'm pleasantly surprised. Yeah. Yes, Stacey.
But I love the sweet potatoes. They're awesome.
Yes.
I was very
Nancy, you are my girl. Girl, I will lay in bed with some sweet potatoes. Okay.
Listen. You see what I got this cereal in the oven?
There you go.
You know how long it goes by.
Oh my God.
Awesome.
We're gonna have a group photo.
Sure.
So we're finishing up now, you guys. This was so much.
You said group photo. She over there talking.
Okay, I'm getting ready.
Are
Are we gonna have a photo?
you want everybody on there?
Click the photo.
Yes, Stacey. Lord help us.